Hey, welcome to Cal Free Kicks. Let's talk more about the Nike Renew Run 4. Welcome to the channel. When I review this pair of Nike Renew Run 4s, I will be looking into 5 different categories. They are looks, comfort, weight, breathability and price, and then at the end of the video I will give them an overall rating out of 5 stars. If you do like what you see as you're going along, please do not forget to click the little thumbs up like button below on your device. The support is greatly appreciated, and if you have not already, please take time to subscribe to the channel. So let's kick this review off then by first checking them out on feet. This is the 4th silhouette for the Nike Renew Run range from Nike. I had the pleasure of reviewing the version 1s possibly a couple of years ago, and at first take, looks wise, there's not too many differences between the two, except for the major differences that this sneaker is part of Nike's Move to Zero campaign. Now you get that branding on the tongue of the sneaker, and it also means that it comes in the blank brown cardboard box you can see over my right shoulder, which is made from 95% recycled cardboard. Now it does also mean that 20% of this sneaker is made from recycled materials, starting with the upper of the shoe. Now it comes in quite a few different colorways at the moment, but this colorway in particular here has a mix of charcoal and black in this fly knit upper, and there's some TPU overlays around the toe box just to add some extra durability, and around the eye stays as well. With the Nike Renew Run, you also get this linear swoosh on the outside, so it's just the top half of the swoosh in this line that runs into this Renew Run midsole, and on the inside of the foot you get a second kind of standard Nike swoosh that you'd expect to see on a lot of their releases. Towards the rear of the sneaker, you've got this hardened plastic heel cup for extra stability, and all of that sits on top of this very chunky Nike Renew Run midsole. Again, on the outsole, you've got some slight waffle cutaways and a little bit more Nike branding. It is a speckled outsole, which means that part of this is made from the Nike Grind recycled materials and rubber. So again, that's part of Nike's Move to Zero campaign. Overall, looks wise, I've not really ever liked the Nike Renew Run's very low profile. You can see that even the heel is cut very low, but the sneaker itself is very low and very flat and wide. And even when you've got it on feet and you do the laces up tight, you still get some saggy material around the side of the sneaker that make them look possibly wider than they should. So I'm not the biggest fan of them looks wise for that reason. Now I want to move on to their comfort, where I want to put this chunky mid to the test on my back doorstep. As you can see from the step test, you get a really nice amount of give and responsive bounce back from this Nike Renew foam midsole. And it's because Nike have added more foam to this version of the silhouette than they ever have done before, and they've also re-engineered the foam midsole to make it squidgier, softer and more responsive. And it definitely tells when you're walking under feet. They feel so comfortable, so responsive, so bouncy. Now, they do ride a little bit on the firmer side of what many people think is the bigger brother to this Renew foam, which is the React foam. That is a softer foam, but this Renew foam, which is possibly the cheaper version of that, does still offer really nice responsive bounce back and great cushion under feet. Now, one thing I don't like about them too much is the fact that the foam really tapers off to become very narrow towards the end of the toe box. I would like to see that chunk kind of continue all the way up to the toes, because it does lose a little bit of that softness as you are just moving from the ball of your foot to the tip of your toes. But overall though, an incredibly nice soft ride under feet. Now on top of your feet, these are an absolute true fit. My feet are a perfect length UK size 10, and I have slightly wider than average feet, but there is ample room in this very wide toe box for my slightly wide feet, and also lengthwise they're a perfect fit. So don't worry about going half a size up or half a size down. Just in the comfort section, I did mention previously in the look section that they're very low profile. Now they are well padded around the heel and the tongue, but I do find that they just ride too low for me, and I don't like the positioning of this chunky heel on my ankles and on the bottom of my legs, top of my feet. I just feel like it's not very well positioned for me as possibly an all-day wear. I feel that they just sit in a slightly odd place. That does impact the comfort for me slightly, but for the price, which we'll talk more about later, I do think they offer a great level of comfort. Now I want to move on to their weight, where I want to pop them on the scales. So when I weigh a pair of sneakers, I have 3 different bands. Anything below 300 grams is extremely insanely lightweight. Anything below the 350 gram mark can be considered lightweight. And anything above the 400 gram mark would be considered heavyweight. And sadly, as they've added more foam to this Renew Run silhouette for the version 4s, they've increased the weight from previous versions, and they now weigh over 400 grams per shoe, which for me is way too heavy if you are going to wear these as a run-in or workout sneaker. Now, as an everyday lifestyle shoe, the weight doesn't matter as much, but they are still going to be heavier than a lot of other sneakers out there at around the same price or cheaper that could possibly offer you very similar levels of comfort. So sadly, I do think they come in too heavy. Now I want to talk about their breathability, where I'm going to pump the upper full of smoke to see how breathable it is. So a really nice result in the breathability test. You could see the smoke escaped quickly and in large amounts from all areas of this Flyknit upper. Now it's not going to be the most breathable sneaker out there, because to the touch when you've got these on, you can tell this Flyknit is a little bit heavier than some of the other Flyknits that you're going to get out there. Obviously that's added to the weight and possibly tipped these over the 400 gram mark. So if Nike were going to improve these in another area, I would say they could definitely strip some of the materials of this Flyknit upper just to make them a little bit more breathable. Now moving on to their price. Now these set me back £85, and considering the version 1s from 2 to 3 years ago came in at £80, Nike haven't increased the price too much for the extra foam and everything else they've added to this sneaker. And also, with inflation going absolutely nuts at the moment, that £5 increase is pretty fair. And that's going to bring me on to my overall score for these sneakers, where I'm going to give them 3 stars. Now that might seem a little bit low, but to be honest, I just think for £85, there are possibly some sneakers out there that can offer you better value for money in the budget end of shoes around the £55–60 mark. And these are kind of stuck in the middle. They're not like a mid shoe, they're not like a high-end shoe, and they're not a budget shoe. They're kind of a little bit middle of the road. And I just think that they could have done better with this sneaker, especially in the upper and looks wise, and kind of made them a more high profile shoe rather than just being so flat and so wide. I just don't like the overall look of this sneaker. Even if the comfort underfoot for them is excellent for the price, I just think there's other things in the shoe that could definitely be improved to improve that score of 3 stars. Now, if you've liked what we've seen today, please do not forget to give the video a thumbs up, like before you leave. You can also follow me on Instagram, drop any comments below, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.